You wake up tomorrow morning. Your alarm didn't go off. That's weird. You check your phone. No notifications, no messages, no missed calls. You walk outside. The street is silent. No cars, no people, no sounds except the wind. You call out, nothing. You check your neighbor's house, empty. You drive downtown. Every store, every building, every home empty. Everyone is gone. You are the last person on earth. And for the first few hours, you feel something unexpected, relief, maybe even excitement. But that feeling won't last long. Let's start with day one. Because day one is actually kind of amazing. You walk through the empty streets and realize something. You can do anything. Want that car? Take it. Want to walk into a mansion? The door is unlocked. Want to eat at a 5-star restaurant? Help yourself. There are no rules, no consequences, no one to stop you. You raid a store, you take whatever you want. You drive a sports car through the city at 100 miles an hour. You break into places you've always been curious about. For the first time in your life, you're completely free, and it feels incredible. You spend the day exploring, taking things, living out fantasies you've had since childhood. Maybe you go to a museum and touch the exhibits. Maybe you sit in the Oval Office. Maybe you drive a tank. Whatever you want, it's all yours. By the end of day one, you're exhausted but exhilarated. You fall asleep in the most expensive bed you can find and the biggest house you've ever seen. And you think, maybe this won't be so bad. Day two, you wake up. Still no one. The excitement from yesterday is still there, but there's something else now. A small creeping feeling, doubt. You try calling people again, nothing. You check the internet, it's down. You turn on the TV, static. You drive to the nearest airport, empty. You go to a hospital, nobody there. You start to realize something. This isn't temporary. This is permanent. Everyone is gone, and they're not coming back. That night, you don't sleep as well, because the silence is starting to get to you. By the end of the first week, the reality sets in. You're not on an adventure. You're in a nightmare, because here's what nobody tells you about being alone. Humans are not built for it. We are social creatures. Our brains are wired for connection. We need interaction. We need communication. We need to be seen, heard, and understood. Without that, we break. Studies on isolation show that after just a few days alone, people start experiencing psychological symptoms, anxiety, depression, hallucinations, and you're not alone for a few days. You're alone forever. By week 2, you start talking to yourself. At first, it's just narration. Okay, I need to find food. I should check that store. But then it becomes conversations. You ask yourself questions and answer them. You start giving yourself pep talks. And then, because you're desperate for any sense of companionship, you start talking to objects. You name a mannequin. You prop it up in a chair and talk to it like it's real. You create routines with it. You say good morning. You say good night. Because the alternative, accepting that you are completely, utterly alone, is too much to handle. But loneliness isn't the only problem. The world is falling apart around you. Because modern civilization doesn't run itself. It requires constant human maintenance. Let me walk you through what happens when humans disappear. Within 48 hours, nuclear power plants start to fail. They're designed to shut down automatically, but not all of them do. Some go into meltdown. Radiation leaks into the surrounding areas. You'll need to avoid certain regions entirely, or you'll die from radiation poisoning. Within a week, electricity grids collapse. Power plants stop generating. The lights go out, your phone dies, your laptop dies. Everything goes dark. You're now living in a pre-industrial world. No internet, no lights, no heating or air conditioning. Within 2 weeks, water treatment plants fail. Tap water becomes unsafe to drink. You'll need to find bottled water or a natural water source. And you better hope it's not contaminated. Within a month, grocery stores are your only real food source. And you need to move fast because fresh food is already rotting. You'll be living off canned goods, dried foods, and anything sealed in packaging. But even canned food has an expiration date. Most last 2 to 5 years. After that, you'll need to figure out farming alone, and good luck with that. Modern farming requires knowledge, tools, and a lot of labor. You're one person. You can grow a small garden, but you can't sustain industrial-level food production. Within 6 months, gasoline starts breaking down. It becomes unusable, so your car, useless. You're now walking everywhere, or riding a bike. Your range of exploration shrinks dramatically. Animals start taking over cities. Dogs form packs. Zoo animals escape and roam freely. Without humans, nature reclaims everything, and some of those animals, they're dangerous. You're now sharing the world with predators that have no fear of you, and here's the kicker. If you get injured, you're done. Break your leg. You might never walk properly again. Get an infection, you'll die. Need surgery? Impossible. You're a single point of failure. One bad accident, and it's over. But let's say you survive all of that. You figured out food, water, shelter. You've avoided radiation, predators, and injury. You're still facing the hardest challenge of all. Your mind, because after months of isolation, you're not the same person anymore. You start losing track of time. Days blend together. You stop keeping a calendar because what's the point? You have full conversations with imaginary people. You see faces in shadows. You hear voices that aren't there. This isn't madness. This is your brain desperately trying to fill the void. Humans need stimulation. We need novelty. We need interaction. Without it, our brains start to malfunction. You become paranoid. You start thinking maybe you're not alone. Maybe someone's watching you. Maybe there are others and they're hiding. You spend days searching for signs of life that don't exist. And eventually, you reach a breaking point. Some people in isolation experiments describe a moment where they just ... They lose the will to keep going. Because what's the point? There's no one to talk to. No one to share experiences with. No one to remember you when you're gone. You are completely, cosmically alone. And that realization crushes you. So how does it end? Honestly, probably not well. Maybe you die from an infection after a minor injury. Maybe you make a mistake while scavenging and get trapped. Maybe a wild animal attacks you. Or maybe after years of isolation, you just give up. Because survival isn't just physical. It's mental. And the human mind isn't built to endure all solitude. You could live for years. Maybe even decades if you're careful and lucky. But would you want to? Every sunrise, you wake up alone. Every sunset, you go to bed alone. Every accomplishment, every thought, every moment experienced in total isolation. No one to share it with. No one to care. No one to remember. That's not freedom. That's a prison. So what if you woke up as the last person on Earth? You'd have everything and nothing. All the resources in the world, but no one to share them with. All the time in the world, but no reason to use it. You'd survive for a while, but you wouldn't live. Because humans aren't meant to be alone. We're built for connection, for community, for each other. And without that, we're not really living. We're just waiting to die. So the next time you're annoyed by a crowded subway or a loud neighbor, remember this. Those people, that noise, that chaos, that's what makes you human. Because the alternative is silence, forever, and trust me, you don't want that. If this video made you feel something, hit that subscribe button, because the next one is going to hit even harder. Thanks for watching. And hey, go call someone you care about while you still can.